Hey there YouTube, this is Jeff aka 101 Bronson back again with the next update video for the month of April 2021. Last year in April, uh, that particular update video for April 2020, that was a very big one. I had a lot of titles. I think I've outdone it this time. I picked up a lot of movies and soundtracks. So, that having been said, I'm going to show you everything I picked up in the month of April because this is going to be a big one. So I'm gonna try to make this as fast as I can, but I still want to be informative about a lot of the titles. But anyway, let's jump in. Everything I picked up in the month of April 2021. Here we go. Alright, so we're starting off with the CD soundtracks for this month. As you all know, last month I picked up a few Quentin Tarantino movie soundtracks, and now I actually picked up the remaining one that I needed to complete, well, the collection, so to speak, because now I have every soundtrack to every one of his movies so far. Now we have the soundtrack for Kill Bill Volume 2 right here, which is a great soundtrack. A lot of spaghetti western songs, you know, like Il Tramonto, which is from The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly by Ennio Morricone. La Arena, Ennio Morricone, which is from The Mercenary. A Silhouette of Doom, which is from Navajo Joe. And yeah, some other great songs, Johnny Cash on there, and really cool soundtrack. And Kill Bill Volume 2 is a really good movie. So next soundtrack is for Inglourious Bastards. Yes, one of Tarantino's best movies, if not his best. It's very hard for me to decide always, you know, what is my all-time favorite, because I think every one of his movies are so damn good. But another great soundtrack. Some Ennio Morricone, another spaghetti western track right here, and just all around a very good soundtrack to, yet again, another good movie. And speaking of Ennio Morricone and Tarantino, we have the Hateful Eight soundtrack from 2015. This is, of course, a premiere for Tarantino, because this is the first original score, and Morricone did a full score for Tarantino. I mean, there's some tracks on it that aren't Morricone, but this is pretty much a predominantly Ennio Morricone filled soundtrack. And yeah, Hateful Eight, very good western, and very good Quentin Tarantino movie yet again. So those are the soundtracks. Let's move over to the DVDs, starting off with, let's start off with some US DVDs. First up, we got a Robert De Niro movie, Bang the Drum Slowly, co-starring Michael Moriarty and Vincent Gardenia. Fairly decent movie, this one. And it's one that De Niro did before Mean Streets and Godfather 2. So this is really the first movie in which he had a big role as a main star, so to speak. So, and it's a very good movie, actually, very underrated. I mean, it's not a great one, but it's definitely one that, if you're a Rob De Niro fan, I do recommend this one. And you know, just for showing him in the pre-Godfather and Mean Street days. And yeah, 1973, this one, he really did this one before Mean Streets. And yeah, like I said, for a decent movie. This is the US Region 1 DVD. Region 1 locked, but I have a Region 3 player, so. But yeah, once again, very good movie in which De Niro plays a baseball player who is also ill. And yeah, it's a drama, but it's a good one. Next, US DVD, and we picked up a few more Wild East movies. Wild East releases, you know, spaghetti western releases. We picked up the Giuliano Gemma double feature of Days of Vengeance, and also a non-spaghetti western on this one, Eric the Viking, which, you know, I got this one for this movie. Don't really care about this one, although I am gonna watch it for sure, because I do love Italian cinema, and seeing one of their like peplum or Viking movies or whatever you want to call it would be interesting. But no, of course this was picked up for the spaghetti western Days of Vengeance, which I heard is one of Carlos's favorites of Giuliano Gemma, if not his favorite. You can let us know, Carlos, which one it is. But yeah, it is a very good spaghetti western, and it's Wild East by number 69, and it's volume 60. And for the first time on DVD, the 122-minute English version. So yeah, there you go. Next Wild East double feature on DVD is volume 54. This is a double feature of George Arneson movies. Arneson. May God Forgive You, I Won't, and Massacre at Canyon Grand, which I got this release mainly for this movie because this is the first spaghetti western by Sergio Corbucci. Even though it's a very weak western, still enjoyed it, still had some good stuff in it. But the better one out of this double feature is definitely this movie here, May God Forgive You, I Won't, which is sort of a sequel to the spaghetti western Chimango, which I'm yet to see that one. But yeah, the character in this is Chimango, so it's sort of a sequel on that movie. But fairly good double feature once again by Wild East, this one. And those are the DVDs, but we're not done with Wild East yet because I did pick up 2 of their Blu-rays. This is Spaghetti Western Collection Volume 50 by Wild East, a double dose of Pecos, with 2 movies starring Robert Woods, My Name is Pecos, and Pecos Cleans Up. 2 fairly decent and entertaining spaghetti westerns. The first one is the best. The second one is more of like a treasure hunt movie, like sort of Indiana Jones-esque, like really, treasure hunting. The first one is a very good spaghetti western, though, I really must admit. And Arrow Video is actually going to release My Name is Pecos, along with a few other spaghetti westerns in a upcoming box set, which I'm looking forward to. I'm not going to get rid of this, because I am a Wild East collector and I love all their stuff. But I'm definitely going to get that Arrow set as well. But yeah, there you have it. My Name is Pecos, and Pecos Cleans Up. And final spaghetti western for this month, another Giuliano Gemma one, A Bullet for the President, directed by Tonino Valerie, and who is the director of My Name is Nobody and also Day of Anger, among others. Yeah, there it is. And this is a very good, and I agree with Tom Batt's writing here, overlooked spaghetti western, overlooked gem, this one. Really good story about the assassination of a president, very similar to the JFK assassination. It took some inspiration from that, I think, for sure. And I love that story. It's like a mystery, who tried to kill the president and stuff like that. And it's a great movie. Recommend this one for spaghetti western fans. A Bullet for the President, which is also known as The Price of Power. Moving on to, let's go with the Dutch releases I have this month. As you guys remember, last month I picked up a few titles in a 5 for 25 or 30 sale, I can't remember which, but I was still waiting on 2 more titles. Well, I have got those titles now, so I'm going to show you. And we have this movie here, Click, with Adam Sandler and Kate Beckinsale and Christopher Walken. Oh, it's great to have Christopher Walken in your movie where he plays Morty, the guy who gives Adam Sandler the remote. Michael, this item is not returnable. And I'm gonna stop my Christopher Walken impression. But actually, I really like this movie. I don't know how most of you will feel about this one. I'm not the biggest Adam Sandler fan. I mean, Jack and Jill is probably the worst movie I've ever seen. But, some movies like Happy Madison, or what is the movie? Happy Gilmore, that's the one. Another movie he did, Big Daddy or something. Anger Management, and also this one here, Click, are some of my, those are definitely my favorite Adam Sandler movies. And this one was a very entertaining watch. I like this Adam Sandler comedy, mainly because of Christopher Walken, but, Christopher Walken is always great. So there you have it, Click. And the other title I was waiting on for last month's sale is this underrated Harrison Ford movie, The Devil's Own, co-starring Brad Pitt. This one actually got recommended by Carlos a few months ago. He said this was one of the, a very underrated Harrison Ford movie. And I was like, yeah, if I come across it, I will definitely check it out. and lo and behold, it was included in a sale, and I was like, hey, that's that movie that Carlos mentioned, let's pick it up. Very good movie, very underrated actually. It's probably not my favorite Harrison Ford movie or the best Harrison Ford movie I've seen, but it is a very entertaining one and a very underrated one. Also co-starring Brad Pitt in this one, who actually does an Irish accent in this movie. And obviously, I'm not Irish, but I think he actually does a pretty good job. I mean, I can't speak for people in Ireland. Maybe some of the Irish viewers can comment on the the how authentic his accent is. But to me, a guy from the Netherlands, it sounds pretty authentic. But again, I'm not judging beyond that. Anyway, Devil's Own, great movie. If you haven't seen it, check it out. It is an underrated one. And now there was another sale at the very same web store that I bought the previous titles from, and this time they had another like 3 for something sale or 4 for something, because I picked up a few titles. One being this one here, American Psycho with Christian Bale, uncut. Like I said, Dutch Blu-ray, this one. Very good movie. Christian Bale, Willem Dafoe, Jared Leto's in this one as well. Good cast, and very similar to the series Dexter with Michael C. Hall, which is becoming my favorite TV show. I think it's one of my favorite TV shows for sure. But yeah, very good movie. Was a little confused by the ending. I think it might be clearer, or it might be, I might appreciate it more in a second watch. But overall I really enjoyed the movie. I'll probably give this one a 3.5 out of 5 stars. Very entertaining. I mean, not entertaining because it is about a psycho killer, but fun to watch though. There's some good black humor, black comedy in there. So American Psycho. Next title I picked up in the sale was a classic that I just couldn't believe I didn't own before, but I picked it up. Jaws. The original 1977, I want to say, or 76 movie. Steven Spielberg directed movie with Robert Shaw, Roy Scheider, Richard Dreyfuss. Yes, I could not believe that I did not own this movie. I have seen this movie before, and it was way overdue for a rewatch for this classic movie right here. And this is the 40th anniversary special edition. Very good transfer on Blu-ray. I mean, what else can I say? It's an iconic movie. I think everybody has this one in their, favorite movie of all time list somewhere. So yeah, now I do as well. Now I do own the movie as well, and yeah, it's a classic. It was way overdue for a rewatch. I really enjoyed every second of it rewatching it. Very good movie, Jaws. Moving over to another Steven Spielberg classic that I actually did not own before, and I was really ashamed to, but now I do. And again, overdue for a rewatch, but it's Jurassic Park. Finally rewatched this, and I finally own this classic dinosaur movie by Steven Spielberg with Sam Neill, Laura Dern. Who else was in this movie? I actually forget. God. Oh yeah, Jeff Goldblum. There he is. Samuel L. Jackson was also in the movie. Yeah. What can I? Again, just like with Jaws, nothing really much to add. It's a great, legendary movie. Very great special effects in this one concerning the dinosaurs. They still hold up today, in my opinion. And yeah, great movie, Jurassic Park. Not too bothered with the sequels, but this one I'm very happy and proud to own in my collection. So, and we do have another movie included in that very same sale, and another classic that I did own and have watched, but now finally upgraded to Blu-ray. Papillon with Steve McQueen and Dustin Hoffman. Probably my favorite Steve McQueen movie. And one of my favorite Dustin Hoffman movies as well. Very good movie. If any of you haven't seen this one, this is a high recommendation for me. It's more of a drama, but it's a very good one. It's a very good one. Papillon with Steve McQueen and Dustin Hoffman. And of course, and also this month on Blu-ray, Wonder Woman 1984, the sequel to the original Wonder Woman movie, was released. So I picked that one up, and I also picked up the original one because I did not own Wonder Woman on Blu-ray, and now I do. Gal Gadot as Wonder Woman. Oh, I'm in love with Gal Gadot, guys. I have a huge crush on her. I should have added her to my top 10 celebrity crushes list or actress crushes I did a few months ago. If I did that again, she would definitely be on it. She's beautiful. Anyway, before I get carried away, a great Blu-ray edition here of Wonder Woman. And of course, like I said, why I picked it up was because this movie was now released, Wonder Woman 1984. Missed out on cinema release in the Netherlands. I do believe it was in cinema for a week before everything closed down again. But I didn't get to see it. I actually wanted to see this one in cinema last week. Listen to me. Last year. But yeah, damn COVID, right? But yeah, I do finally have the Blu-ray, so I have finally seen the movie. Highly anticipated sequel. I was okay with this one. Not a lot of people like this one. People were very critical on it, but I was okay with this movie. I mean, you guys know I'm not the biggest comic book or superhero movie fan. I do enjoy my DC movies more than Marvel. And I actually was okay with this movie. I didn't mind it, so make it out what you will. Anyway, this is a slipcover edition. And as you guys can see, and it also includes a exclusive graphic novel. Hey, it's just so happened to have popped out. I actually wasn't going to show you guys, but when the opportunity presents itself, who am I to say no? Let's quickly flip through this. This was like a little comic book, right? It's like a preview of a comic book because it's not the full one, but yeah, it's okay. It's got the characters in there. I'm not the biggest comic book guy. I never really read comic books when I was a kid. So, you know, there's all this, you know, splank, pitting. It's not really my thing, but I mean, I can appreciate the illustrations and stuff, but as far as reading goes, just give me a regular book. Anyway, just quickly flip through that. You know, DC property. So yeah, there you guys have that one. Alright, let's move over to more European pickups. Now we move over to our neighbor country, at least for me, Germany. Picked up a few titles from Amazon Germany, as I usually do. First title is this movie here, Blowout, with John Travolta and Nancy Allen. Also you got John Lithgow in this movie, but directed by Brian De Palma. A very good thriller, this movie. I really enjoyed this one. Put out by German label Koch Media, and a very good Brian De Palma thriller with John Travolta. Actually one of my favorite John Travolta performances, I think. I had a blast with this movie, and he really acted very good in this movie. And it's a 2-disc special edition. I do know that Arrow Video also put out their edition of Blowout, but you know, this one was fairly cheap to pick up from Amazon Germany. I was like, you know, let's pick up the German edition. I might eventually get the Arrow one, but I'm very content and happy with this one for now because it's a great transfer and has some good special features. So yeah, happy with this one. Blowout from 1981. Second title from Amazon Germany is another is a movie from the 1970s, I should say, not another. It's The Driver, directed by Walter Hill, starring Ryan O'Neal, Bruce Dern, and probably can't pronounce this one, Isabel Adjani. Probably butchered that, but very good movie, this one. Picked it up because it came up in a conversation with Carlos a few months ago while we were discussing the movie Drive. He actually said this would be a great companion piece to Drive, and I was like, he sent me the trailer. I was like, looks interesting. I love Bruce Dern. I actually do like Ryan O'Neal. I might check this one out, and it finally popped up on Amazon, fairly cheap. I was like, yeah, sure, why not? So I picked this movie up. And yeah, if you guys love the movie Drive with Ryan Gosling, this is a great companion piece to that movie. They're fairly similar, and that's all I'm gonna say about it. It's a very good movie, good performances. And Walter Hill is a fine director, one of my favorites actually. I love Walter Hill's movies. And here's another one of his that I've seen now, and yeah, I love this one. Moving over to a similarly titled movie, from The Driver we go to The Hitcher with Rutger Hauer. Rutger Hauer, as we say in the Netherlands, to pronounce it in the Dutch way. But yeah, Rutger Hauer and The Hitcher. Very good movie, this one, once again. First time watch, and this one also came recommended highly by Carlos, Eastwood for Life fan. And yeah, very good German edition by Alive and Film Juwele. And yeah, English audio, German audio, everything. And this actually comes with, it's a slipcover edition. And we actually do have a booklet that comes along with it. And a lot of you guys, I've noticed recently, have been crying out for Arrow to release this one. But until Arrow does, I would say definitely don't be shy to pick this edition up, because it's a great one. And I agree with you guys. This is definitely a movie that Arrow should put out, because it's a cult classic, and it was a first time watch for me, but I thoroughly enjoyed this movie. Just quickly flip. You guys listening to this, I'm making mistakes all over the place. I think I'm gonna keep this one in. Usually cut the bloopers out, but yeah, let's flip through this booklet quickly. Usually I cut the bloopers out, but I'm gonna leave this one in. Very good movie. Rutger Hauer plays a psychopathic, crazy character in this one. Stop me. I love the finale of this movie, which I'm not going to give away. I'm also not going to add context to this scene, because that was also a great one, and it's definitely a scene. But if I talk about it, it's a spoiler, so I'm not going to do that. I love Rutger Hauer with this Spaz 12 shotgun right here. I think there's, so far, I've still yet to check out a lot of Rutger Hauer movies. But so far, this is my favorite performance I've seen of the man, and I love him in Nighthawks with Stallone as Wolfguard, a terrorist, but I think he did better in this one. Also, Jennifer Jason Leigh is in this movie, and yeah, very good movie. This one, yes. The Hitcher from 1986, I want to say off the top of my head. Let's confirm if it says that. Yes, it does. 1986, way down there at the bottom. High recommendation, this movie. Next up, we picked up a Jean-Claude Van Damme movie in a very rare and special edition. A media book of the movie Inferno. Like I said, JCVD movie. 2-disc limited uncut edition. Let me quickly check the label. Oh. Well, I can't really make out what this label is, but let me tell you guys why this is so rare. A media book, of course, in Germany isn't that rare, but this particular media book is limited to 66 copies. I have number 2. Yeah, and it's a release from 2020, from last year, probably late last year. But this is a movie in the UK. This one doesn't have a Blu-ray one. I don't believe they have a Blu-ray for this in the US. But very good and underrated Van Damme movie. It's not one of his best, but I really enjoyed this movie. I have seen this one a bunch of times before. I was like, you know what, let's pick up this media book. So if you guys would like to own this movie on Blu-ray in this special edition, I would say be quick about it, because there's only 66 copies of it. Actually did pay a bit more for this than I would like to. I guess they're already starting to, you know, I mean, it's odd that I have number 2 of 66 and that I still have to pay a bit more money, but I don't know, maybe there's more limited or exclusive than I thought for some reason. Maybe just because because they're so exclusive. Maybe that's why the price is a bit high. I pay about 35 euros for this one, I believe. But yeah, there's a DVD. Really good and entertaining Jean-Claude Van Damme action movie, this one. So grab it while you can, guys. Only 66 copies. Well, I should say now 65. I do believe I think somebody has number 1. So there's only 64 copies left. Anyway, great media book. It has a nice feel too, nice texture. But yeah, Jean-Claude Van Damme in Inferno. Moving over from one action tough guy to the next. Bruce Willis in The Last Boy Scout finally picked up this great 90s action movie on Blu-ray. Way overdue. I love this. This is probably one of my favorite Bruce Willis movies, right next to the Die Hard. I think this probably is my favorite Bruce Willis movie besides Die Hard. It's a really good one. Directed by Tony Scott, produced by Joel Silver, written by Shane Black, the writer of Lethal Weapon. With a very good cast. Bruce Willis, Damon Wayans. We also have Daniel Harris from Halloween 4 and 5 in this movie. And fantastic action movie. Fantastic action movie, this one. Really enjoyed this one. Back when Bruce Willis still gave a fuck. Because, yeah. Bruce Willis nowadays I don't like anymore. And, you know, he just does the movies, you know, for the paycheck and for the hell of it. He doesn't even care anymore. But back in the 90s, definitely, Bruce Willis was a great action star. And this is one of his best in my opinion. So, yeah, The Last Boy Scout.